Hello, friends. Welcome back to Spiritual Health and Fitness, where we discuss the importance of spiritual cleanliness and spiritual truths in creating and manifesting the healthiest mind and body that you are capable of manifesting. Remember, it all starts in your mind, which is your soul. The body is simply a manifestation of what is going on in your soul. That said, let me introduce what I wanted to talk about in this episode. There are the experiments of Dr. Masaru Emoto are getting a lot of press, I have seen these days. And if you're not familiar with what those experiments are, Dr. Masaru Emoto took water and projected intention to the water with his mind. And he discovered, I encourage you to look this up to verify the results and see if it resonates with you. But what he discovered is when he sent positive intention and emotion to the water, just water in front of him, using his mind and directing emotion, positive emotion and intention to the water took beautiful shapes like snowflakes and crystals. Very orderly, very beautiful. When he sent intention and emotion of anger or negativity in general, the water took very chaotic, rather ugly shapes. And I think the conclusion of this experiment is fairly self-explanatory, which is that emotion is energy, is electromagnetic frequency that actually affects the energy field around us. It's very easy to think that we're in a very, black and white, air and solids type of reality, but we're actually swimming in this etheric soup all the time. And everything that we think, everything that we say, but especially that we think, but say and do as well, goes out and affects this energy field. And this is that idea of the secret, right? That by thinking something, you can manifest it. That whatever you think, whether it's positive or negative, will manifest. I happen to subscribe to that. I think there's an important thing to remember there, which is that there is a lag. There's a fairly long lag in what you are thinking and intending to what the universe eventually takes shape into. I imagine there are realities in this multiverse where the manifestation is instantaneous, but that's not how it works here. There's a lag. But I think my major point here is just that it's very interesting that we have now literature and scientists that are able to prove this notion, this concept. And I think we need to take it to heart, because too often, I think we, myself included, we get wrapped up in the matrix and we're reacting to the matrix instead of being proactive and deciding what we want to emanate out into the space around us. That's intention. That takes energy. That takes focus. One thing I thought that was very interesting about this experiment, and I've now been putting it into practice in my life, is, well, if the water will take this shape when we just give it our positive emotion, right? When we give it a positive intention, positive emotion, why not do that with everything we consume before we consume it? And then I realized, well, this is the concept of blessing your food and your water. And this is a concept that has existed in religions and spiritual traditions since time immemorial. And I think now I see why these traditions and these cultures viewed it as so important to bless their food and their water, because it actually changes the makeup of the food and the water. This could also maybe apply to when you're taking a bath or before you jump into a pool or something. I think the easiest is probably with the consumable water and food to start with, but I don't see why it couldn't apply to everything else. But maybe I challenge you now to, before you consume something, we're all in a rush, we gotta do the next thing, and so we finish cooking and we quickly just eat it up and move on without even thinking about what we just did or what was the intention that we put into this sustenance before we consumed it. So my challenge to you is to bless everything that you consume before you consume it. By blessing, I mean just exactly like what was done in this experiment. Put your intention and emotion into this food or water. Imbue it with that intention for a period of time, a couple of weeks, and see if you see any changes.